All right, what is up, y'all? Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. This is XP Level Up, where I give you the experience that you need to get to the next level in your life. Now, we got a great topic today, y'all. We got a great topic, great Monday topic. And I wanted to talk about this topic because I think when it comes to fitness, a lot of people think that the lifestyle is just, happy and rosy and great and full of smiles, and there's nothing but positivity from it. It changes your life for nothing but the better, and there's really nothing wrong that comes from fitness. Now, in reality, that is mostly true. Okay, the pros outweigh the cons in fitness exponentially, right? And science proves that firsthand. There's no doubting that, right? Obviously, fitness. Make sure that the lion's included, but yeah, there's no doubt about that, right? With fitness, it obviously improves your life more than it hurts it. There's just no doubt about that. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is the cons of fitness, the cons of a fitness lifestyle. Okay, so pretty much this video is just meant to kind of explain to you the challenges and obstacles that come with living a fitness lifestyle. And hopefully when, I explain these things to you, it can kind of give you a more deeper perspective of exactly what living a fitness lifestyle is really like, at least for some people, especially. But like I said, this is my account. So, this is obviously not, universal. Not everybody's going to feel these things. I don't want people saying, oh, well, you're not talking about all people, right? No, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about me specifically, but I know from my studies in the fitness industry that a lot of people can relate to these things that I felt. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get right into it, guys. So I'm going to explain to you 5 things that I've noticed in my life since the beginning of my fitness journey, that are cons per se, things that I don't necessarily find the most enjoyable or the most beneficial. But so the first thing, guys, is that food goes from being food to numbers. Okay, before my fitness journey, I never ever thought about calories. Obviously, that's how I became fat. But I mean, the reality is that when I looked at food, I simply looked at it as food. Like, okay, I'm about to enjoy this food. This food looks delicious, right? This is just simply food. There's nothing more to it than that, and I'm gonna enjoy it for what it is. But when you start to, especially if you lose a lot of weight and you go through the dieting process, especially the ignorant dieting process, which is like crash dieting, super restrictive. You kind of develop a mindset of like everything that you eat, you look at as a number. Like, okay, how many calories is this, right? Because when I was dieting, obviously I wanted to lose weight, so I wanted to keep in a calorie deficit. So I was constantly, if I were to eat anything outside of my meal prep, I would always be trying to figure out what the calories were, like, all the time, to the point where it kind of made me a little obsessive about it to this day. Literally every time that I look at food, I can't help but think to try to analyze how many calories it is, but before I eat it. And because of that, it kind of takes the enjoyment out of food, like especially like when I go out to eat, with my friends or like a lady or something, and I'm looking at the menu, especially if they don't tell you how many calories the food is, which is a lot of restaurants that have really, really good food don't list the calories, because a lot of times when the food's really good, it's full of calories. So it's just gotten to a point where I just feel like a lot of times I just can't enjoy food the same way that I used to, because I'm so analytical of the numbers and the calories. And I've gotten a little bit better over time. But especially during my dieting phase, I was super, super analytical, like not a single calorie would get past me, But nowadays I try to, be a little less analytical about it, because I've gotten a lot more into cardio, and so I'm constantly burning calories. So I try to let that rationalize, some things that I'm eating or whatever. Like if I want to eat some sweets, or if I want to like get a pizza, or if I want to go out with my friends or a lady or something, that I'm not tripping about the calories, because I've already burned enough that day, or I've eaten accordingly for the other hours of that day. And so I kind of am trying to figure out ways to get past that, but it's just one of those things that I feel like I just can't ever really truly get over, is not looking at food like numbers. I feel like I'll get to a point again where I can still look at food like food, but in the back of my head I'm going to be like, okay, this is still this many calories. So pretty much a short summary of that is that it just kind of takes the innocence and the enjoyment out of food, because you're analyzing it as having it like an adverse effect on you or not, and that adverse effect is gaining weight. So the second thing, guys, is binge eating. Now this is something that it's definitely not easy to talk about. But again, I mean, this is a huge reason why I'm so against crash diets, guys, because when you're on a crash diet, you restrict yourself so much that once you finish that crash diet and you've lost all that weight, you just end up binge eating food, because it's like you crave this like release to just be able to eat whatever you want, because you've been suppressing that craving for so long to lose weight. Now, fortunately for me, it hasn't impacted me to the point of that I've really rebounded. Like I've been able to, keep my shape, and I've been able to keep progressing in terms of my fitness and not let it, completely rebound me, fortunately, right? But I definitely still have noticed bouts of binge eating with me where, I'll just have some nights that I'll just literally just eat food and not stop eating, just eat, especially if I've been like drinking that night, or if like I've been, or if I'm tired or something, right? Like, because when you're tired, your hunger receptors are more like adept to want to eat. So I mean, I just have certain bouts sometimes where I'll literally just like be in my kitchen and just eat a bunch of random stuff, like complete, like quote unquote like stoner foods, just completely random things just around me, just to like eat something consistently. I don't know how to explain it, but like I said, I believe it's because of the experience with crash dieting that I've had. But now that I know better and I know how to eat and lose weight without suffering, that's why I preach that to you guys so much, because I don't want you to deal with stuff like that. So yeah, so binge eating, fortunately for me, it's not that bad, but I do know, especially for like pro bodybuilders and stuff, I know that when I've seen a lot of stories of people that go to compete and they'll diet down to like the bone, and then they'll go on stage and they'll present themselves, and then right after the competition, they'll just eat so many calories that their body will just like will like just get super bloated up, and it'll be super unhealthy and stuff like that. So just be aware of stuff like that. But the next thing, guys, is how it affects my mental health sometimes, and that's in terms of giving myself enough credit, and being content with myself. I think that when you're somebody like me that is obsessed with being better, that's constantly trying to take action to want to be better each day, a lot of times it makes you forget about where you come from and how far you've already come, right? And I've obviously come a long way. I've lost a lot of weight. I've put on a lot of muscle. I'm in a whole different mindset. I've done a lot for myself. I take care of myself. I do all these great things. And a lot of times I won't even think about that. I'll just be like, well, why can't I be doing better? Why can't I have done this week? Why can't I have done that? it's just one of those things that it's just like, you would think that, you know, you would constantly feel great all the time about where you're at because you've come from you know, from so little. But I mean, I think that's just like the curse of the, you know, of having a productive mindset, is just the idea of, you know, never truly being content, which is, I think it's a gift and a curse, right? Because obviously if you were content and you settled, then you obviously wouldn't progress into your best potential. But I just think that sometimes it can put you in a negative kind of mindset when you don't give yourself enough credit. So next thing, guys, is not having as much fun as I could at social events. And this kind of goes back to the food is a number type thing. It's just, like I said, you know, especially again, when I was dieting, or when I was, you know, just got through with dieting. I mean, it's hard for me to sometimes go out and just like enjoy a pizza with my friends, or like, you know, enjoy just whatever, you know, with friends or a lady or whatever, because I'm just so worried about, like, excuse me, what this is going to do to my body. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just one of those things, you know, it's just when you're so focused on taking care of your body, it's like sometimes it overshadows things that you shouldn't be so worried about, and you should still try to enjoy. And, you know, because that's the key to total fitness, right? You know, the definition of total fitness is, you know, mind, body, and soul fitness. And, you know, you can have the body, right? But you still got to have the mind, you still got to have the soul. And I just think that sometimes when dieting and fitness takes the fun out of things, I feel like that's kind of taking away from the total fitness aspect, because I feel like if I really had total fitness, which I'm still striving to have, that I wouldn't be worried about stuff like that, because I would be so dialed into what I'm doing that I wouldn't be stressing about something like having a pizza with my friends or something. But anyway, so the last thing, guys, is body dysmorphia. Now, pretty much what body dysmorphia is when it's related to people in fitness is pretty much the idea where you look in the, it's kind of like anorexia, but for people, but for like fit people, for like in shape people. Like pretty much what it is like you look in the mirror and it's like your body looks smaller than it really is, or it looks fatter than it really is, or, you know, it's just, or it's like something just don't look right or whatever, you know. It's just these little things that you're always picking at yourself in the mirror for. Like I said, going back to the, you know, not giving yourself enough credit, right? I think a lot of times, you know, when people look at me, especially people that haven't seen me in a long time, they're like, man, Leon, you look so good. Like, holy crap, like you look great, you know, supermodel, you know, all those great things, right? But then I'll still, you know, go home and I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, well, you know, that muscle is bigger than this muscle, or, you know, I'm fatter over here than over here, or like this doesn't line up with that. And just, you know, just little things like that, that I think that if, you know, you're a bodybuilder, especially, or, you know, someone that is really, you know, concerned about maintaining weight and putting on muscle, that it's just those little things where it's like, you know, you're just never truly content with your body. Like you just feel like it could always be better, you know? And I just think that again just kind of plagues my mind sometimes, because again, it doesn't allow me to enjoy my body as much as I would want to after putting in all this work. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it. I'm still proud of it, and my confidence is like through the roof, you know, and I'm much more, you know, what's the word I should say? Like, I care a lot more about myself, and I've, you know, like I said, I have more confidence, right? But it's still one of those things where it's just like, you know, I just feel like I could always be better in some area. And so it's like, it's like, I'll be happy with myself, but I'm not 100% happy with myself. So again, it's a gift and a curse type thing. But so that's the 5 things that I've dealt with throughout my fitness journey in terms of the cons per se of living a fitness lifestyle. And again, I do want to say that I'm not saying that everybody deals with this kind of stuff, right? This is my case. This is my you know, accounting of things. This is the things that have happened to me. This is not going to happen to everybody. And I do believe that this is stuff that happens to people that are kind of above the average gym goer level, you know, the people that are really trying to push their physiques to the top level that they can. I don't really think that a lot of these issues apply to casual fitness goers. I could be wrong, but I feel like if you're just going in the gym to just feel healthy, and you're not really tripping that much about, you know, putting on a whole bunch of muscle or lifting a whole bunch of weight, then I don't think a lot of this stuff will apply to you. Definitely let me know in the comments if it does. But yeah, outside of that, I also want to make sure that you guys understand that I'm not telling you this to try to discourage you from living a fitness lifestyle, because like I said, the pros outweigh the cons exponentially. I mean, there's no argument. There's no debate on that. The pros in my life, I could sit here and make a 3-hour video on how many pros my fitness lifestyle has given me, you know, in my life. I mean, my whole life has changed because of how much I take care of my body. And stuff like that. But I just thought that I'd express these things to you. So if you do, you know, choose to have a fitness lifestyle like mine, that you can kind of know about these things ahead of time and be able to kind of spot them, and nip them in the bud when you see it, instead of kind of let it run a train on you, you know, per se. So yeah, guys, hopefully you learned something from this video today. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more content, turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. I've been seeming to upload mostly on Mondays right now, so I'm going to try to keep that going. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you that have been watching so far, and I'm glad that I can give you the information that I do, that I can give you the motivation that I do. It really means a lot to me. So looking forward to you guys to keep watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.